My name is Michaela Wilkes. I am with Liberty Counsel and Liberty Counsel Action. I am here with Alyssa. We are so excited to share just incredible resources, Beauty from Ashes, and her story with you today. We're going to share more about our heart behind these resources and our more information about the chemical abortion pill. So, Alyssa, just kind of briefly introduce yourself, and we're excited that you're here.
Hi, well, thanks for having me. Yeah, so my name's Alyssa, and I've been working in the pro life space as both an advocate, volunteer, but also doing marketing for pregnancy resource centers. I also am very passionately pro life. I have a personal story with the pro life space after family members have had abortions and been haunted years later emotionally from those experiences. So it's a very, it's very close to my heart. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here and sharing your heart. And speaking of that, we're just going to jump straight in. Can you share a little bit more about where we are with the abortion pill and just what we're facing in that arena?
Yeah, so I think in order to understand the landscape, it's important to know where we've come from. So, in 1973, abortion was legalized, after Roe
Mm.
v. Wade. And at that time, abortion was considered rare. It wasn't, public facing, but through the years, and especially today, we've come to a place where abortion is celebrated. In our culture, we see celebrities talking about their abortion experiences, it's empowerment. People share how many abortions they've had. It's a very different world that we're living in today. And a
Right.
huge part of that is actually because of the abortion pill. So it's important for people to know that the abortion pill is actually two different drugs. And the first drug actually starves the child of nutrients it needs to survive. And then the second drug the woman takes causes contractions for them to pass their child. The sad statistic is we know that nearly 700,000 women had abortions via the abortion drugs last year alone. This is 60% of all abortions. So it's a very severe problem we're facing, and we know that it's going rising every year, the number.
One of the major concerns that we're seeing is that it's coming through the mail with, like you said, without seeing a doctor. So a lot of times these women are taking this pill in silence, in isolation. They don't have any kind of professional medical person around them. So why is that concerning?
Well, the biggest reason it's concerning is because these drugs are only FDA approved up through 10 weeks of pregnancy. So the
Mm.
further a woman is along and she tries to take these drugs, she puts herself at risk for physical side effects. And one of the biggest things is that when the woman takes these drugs by mail without having seen a physician, she doesn't know how far along she is. So
Mhm.
she's taking these drugs. She could be way past her gestational limit. And also, not only that, but she's never had an ultrasound. So an ultrasound is really important before taking these drugs because it shows that where the baby's located. If a woman takes these drugs and she's having an ectopic pregnancy, she's at way greater risk of severe side effects. So these are two really important reasons a woman needs to be able to see a doctor and not just take these drugs online.
Right. Absolutely. And on top of that, then women physically and emotionally experience so much after taking these drugs. So, kind of share a little bit about what they're going through on that front.
Yeah, so I think that, when women are searching online, they talk to an abortion provider, they find things online. A lot of times they're told, oh, if you take these drugs, it's going to feel like a heavy period. It's as
Mhm.
simple as taking Tylenol, it's just going to, it'll be fine. But
Right.
the reality is that a woman is going to go home, take drugs that stop progesterone in her body. So her baby's going to be starved. Then she's going to experience severe cramping that is essentially going into labor, and she's not going to be prepared because she was just told it's going to feel like a period. So, along with all of that, then at the end of the process, she's going to see her baby. A lot of women do see their baby. They weren't told it was a baby, they were
Mm.
told it was just a clump of cells. And so, it's very shocking emotionally. It can cause, we're now finding that there's a post traumatic stress syndrome that's specifically for women who have had abortions. So they can have the emotional shock, but also the the feeling that she doesn't want to share this with her friends or her family because it's shameful. She doesn't want to share what she's done. So a lot of women are suffering in silence. And those
Mhm.
are just the emotional, but again, the physical. One of the greatest physical risks is actually an incomplete abortion, which is when a woman passes her baby, but not all parts of her baby. She
Mhm.
doesn't want to go into the hospital and share what she's done. So then it can lead to severe infection and sepsis and death. And so there's just so many severe things, and women are carrying this all alone.
Right. And you realize like no person on this earth should ever have to carry that trauma alone and then just continue to go about their normal life. That it has to be healed from the inside out. And so that's why with all of this in mind, people are probably wondering like where do we go from here? This is a lot of really deep and heavy and dark things that women carry. So, this leads us to the resources that you helped write and create. And so, can you share a little bit more on the resource, Her Story, and how we do have not a solution, but a healing aid that can help these women walk through what they've been through?
Yeah. So I've, from working in the pro life space and, volunteering, I've seen that people have a huge heart for pro life ministry. They really want to help. But at the same time, a lot of people just don't know how the drugs even work.
Right.
So Her Story was created to be a very easy to read informational booklet
Mhm.
that people can read and then share with their friends and family. Churches can share it with their congregation, and small groups, pregnancy resource centers can use it to pass out at events. And again, it's a very easy to read resource. It tells exactly how the abortion pill works, it outlines the physical and emotional impact on women.
Mhm.
And it also shares real stories from women who have had abortions. It shares the hard truth that they face afterwards. And so, again, this is an informational tool that we hope to get in the hands of everyone, but it also can help women who are deciding what to do with their pregnancies. When they come into a pregnancy resource center, somebody shares it with them. It has the hard facts on what they're going to experience, and it gives them the truth so that they can make an informed decision for themselves.
I love that it gives them just the truth, but it gives them the truth with compassion and it meets women
Mhm.
right where they're at, like you said. And for those women who have experienced an abortion, we also have another resource, a devotional resource for them as well called Beauty from Ashes. So, can you share a little bit more on that resource?
Yeah, so I also think knowing that nearly 700,000 women had an abortion with the abortion drugs last year alone, we know that so many women in our country are hurting,
Hmm.
often isolated and alone. But Beauty from Ashes was created to show them that they're not alone and that healing and forgiveness are possible through Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
So it's this resource is a gentle devotional. It's a 30-day devotional. It's going to walk women through hope, healing, forgiveness, and restoration through Christ. We're hoping that churches can use it to pass out to women in their congregation, small groups, counseling ministries. Pregnancy resource centers can offer it as a healing resource for the women who have come in and they have made the choice of abortion. And again, also for individuals, if you know someone in your family, one of your friends who's had an abortion and is struggling, you can share this devotional with them.
Awesome. I love that it's for women by women too. It's designed to meet women right where they are, offering truth and hope. So, if someone's listening right now and wants to learn more or how to find these resources, where can they go and where can they start?
Yeah, so they can go to tellingherstory.org. There they can find both resources. And also, I just want to give a closing message to say to women that if you've had an abortion, you're not alone. The healing is possible. And if you're an individual who just really wants to get involved, check out these resources because they'll get you informed and give you a way to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alyssa. And again, like you said, Her Story is there to inform. Beauty from Ashes is there to help heal. We are so excited for this resource to really spread. So we appreciate all your work in the pro life space and thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.